Hello friends, this is Adam with Movie Guy 365, and today I'm going to review the 4K Vudu digital version of Disney's Frozen 2. If you're new to the channel, please hit the like button, subscribe, hit that bell notification. I'll put out videos every single day. You can also find me over Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd at Movie Guy 365, as well as over at the Disney Magic Hour podcast. I will put a link for that in the description. Alright, Frozen 2 is now available on 4K digital. Now, keep in mind that this being a Disney title, if you want the true 4K with the HDR and Dolby Vision and so forth, you're going to have to get that through Vudu. iTunes currently does not support any 4K Disney titles. So, we're going to be reviewing strictly the Vudu version of the film. And of course, there will be a physical release coming out in just a couple of weeks. So look for a separate review for that one. In the meantime, let's dive into Frozen 2. Okay, so as for the picture quality, I feel overly that the 4K HDR / Dolby Vision is a very nice grading. Everything looks lively. It looks a lot more spectacular than, of course, the original did, and that's just advances in technology and animation. So, of course, this is going to look richer. It's going to look nicer. It's going to have that extra pop to it. That being said, there are elements of color throughout the film that I feel really stand out. Any kind of use of powers, something to that degree, or just like, you know, a glowing light or you know, fire, something like that. All that are really bumped up as far as color levels go. Now, there's a primary color of fall, like a theme of fall pretty much throughout the film. I would say a good portion of it, and there are moments of water, and those are utilized well, also utilizing that Dolby Vision grading. It's a beautiful looking picture, everybody. It is actually pretty fantastic overall. I cannot wait to get my hands on a physical. I think it'll up that up just a little bit more, even though we only get standard HDR over on that side. But for here, you get that extra flourish of Dolby Vision, and I think it looks pretty spectacular. Levels of detail are really nice. They look good. There's just those little intricacies, you know, like everything from like the little crevices on the trolls, you know, those look great. And just costuming, skin texture, of course, is animated skin texture, so it's not going to be as detailed as us humans in a live action, but I think for the most part it is represented fairly well. Look at the freckles on Anna's face, for instance. They look pretty, you know, fleshed out, and they look pretty good. You know, as far as black levels go, I think it's pretty good for the most part. A couple elevated blacks towards the back half of the film, towards the third act. But I'm going to blame that a little bit over on the compression side. I think it's just compression of the digital source, and those are the things that we have to kind of put up with a little bit until they really give you that super duper internet that hopefully will come one day, and those problems will kind of, you know, cease to exist. But as it stands, it's just a little bit there. It's nothing really going to pull you out, but just be aware that a couple scenes may see a little elevated in those levels. Now, as far as audio goes, it's an overall very good audio mix. There's a lot of singing, so of course that represents the soundstage fairly nicely, utilizing the Dolby Atmos, and I think for the most part it is a good track. As I said, music is kind of king here, and so it's going to fill that room pretty nicely. All your speakers are being well utilized in those aspects. A lot of, you know, surround sound effects are pretty frequent throughout the film. Once again, relegated to musical cues and so forth, but occasionally you do get a lot of action. There aren't a whole lot of scenes where it's just like maybe water kind of, you know, dripping or splashing, those kind of things that do happen, and those happen in their rears, and they sound good. But I think the overall like length of the film, ambience is kind of a little bit on the back seat, but it is there, and when it happens, it's pretty nice. As far as the fronts go, sound great. Dialogue comes through nice and clear through the center channel, and your front speakers are doing what they have to do. They present a nice overall, just the bulk of your sound coming from those speakers sounds really good. LFE, it's good. A little bit on the weak side. Dolby Atmos mixes tend to be like that, so there's not a whole lot of strength going on as far as the general soundtrack goes. So it does kind of have a couple, you have to turn up the volume a little bit, but honestly, it's kind of a pretty strong track, even for a digital audio mix. It sounds really good. As far as the center, or the mid-level speakers, they sound great. You know, seamless action going on from front to back, no problems there. And your heights are given a little bit to do. They're not overly aggressive. They don't have a whole lot going on, but you can definitely tell when they're, especially during music, and those are things that really are picked up. There's a little bit of discrete action in those. It's not prevalent throughout the film. That's all I'm trying to say. But overall, a very nice presentation from Frozen 2. So I'm going to go ahead and give the picture quality of Frozen 2 an A-. I think it's a very strong Dolby digital presentation. It's very colorful. It's very lush in what we get here. Just a few minor issues, black levels on the back half, but I think overall it's a very, very, very nice looking picture. Audio wise, I'm going to go ahead and give that one a B+. I think just the overall strength is missing on the audio mix. Once again, blame compression for that, and of course Disney's Dolby is never really the strongest suit, but I think for the sound stage that we get, it's pretty spectacular. I would highly recommend watching this movie utilizing your surround sound speakers. You're definitely going to pick up a lot, and I think it's worth a pickup in that respect. Let me know in the comments below, what did you think of the film? And if you picked it up digitally, make sure you pick it up for the 4K edition over on Vudu. In the meantime, please like, subscribe, hit that bell notification to put out videos every single day. So until next time, this is Adam with Movie Guy 365. I will see you at the movies.